Hello everybody, my name is Annie, and if you're new here, I am a potter and just newly published author as well. And this is just going to be a catch-up for September and kind of just going to go over how September went. I've realized that these like cozy catch-up once a month vlogs do pretty well. I guess I wouldn't really call it a vlog, but they're cozy catch-up videos, I guess I should say, that are, I don't know, they just kind of do pretty well. So if anybody's missed, some of my vlogs or other videos I've done, this kind of catches you up before going into October. So the Ren Fair isn't actually going to be in this one. That'll be the next video that I release next week. Possibly the week after, depending how long it takes me to get all the footage together. I usually spend the entire weekend getting footage of, me doing my booth with the kick wheel and showing how to do pottery with the kick wheel. I usually try to go around and check out the jousting and all the other kinds of activities that are around the Ren Fair, check out other booths, stuff like that. So I do plan on having a lot of that in the video as well. So depending on how much footage I get from that, it might take me a little bit longer than a week to get through it, but I'm hoping that next week will be the actual Ren Fair video, which I know a lot of you like, especially those who can't go to Ren Fairs and stuff, so you kind of live vicariously through these videos. I appreciate you. It will be up as soon as I can put it up. To be honest, the book sales were pretty good actually, but my pottery, not so much. I got a couple of, I got a decent amount from here. I did my little artist spotlight in one of my vlogs, where I was working on, my Shire mugs and stuff, which will be at the Ren Fair. But as far as my website, things like that, none of that really did anything. But I wasn't expecting it to, especially because, I wasn't doing a ton of promoting and stuff. So I'll admit I was so burnt out from doing the book launch, which did really well. I sold a decent amount. I've kind of set this goal for me to not necessarily, make a ton of money with the book, but just to make back what I put into it. The patrons helped a lot. That took huge chunks. I was able to buy a really nice book cover and got some editing done and stuff like that. It did help a lot. I think I just didn't realize going into it how much extra it was gonna be. I don't know why I spaced needing a copyright. That's a big chunk of change. Just programs, formatting program, things like that, stuff that once getting into it and things that I thought I could do myself, I just realized I didn't have the time for. Formatting was one of them. I was actually going to try to format the book myself. That was the original plan. I even had videos to watch and stuff, and then getting into it, I realized I just didn't have the time to sit there and do all of the formatting myself, just because I do have pottery and kids and all that stuff on top of everything else. So sitting down for several hours to do the formatting just wasn't going to happen, especially during the summer when my kids are home. So yeah, that was kind of there was some surprise costs there and stuff. And so so that's kind of the next goal I have for my book, is to try to just recoup the costs that went into publishing the book. And then hopefully that will mean that I will have funds for book 2. I am currently writing book 2. I'm doing for my patrons, even if you're free members, no matter if you're paid tier or not, I do updates. Try to do at least once a week for what's going on in the studio and how my writing is going. So if you're curious and you want updates on how book 2 is going, make sure to follow my Patreon. Like I said, you can join for free and you get those posts for free. The only thing is if you want my short stories, my serial stories, things like that, helping me to design pottery, stuff like that, those are all kind of the paid tiers. So yeah, anyways, that is kind of how that all went. So the tricky part with September was that I went into it realizing that, why I was so burnt out. Because it was I want to say 2 weeks into September, I realized I was burned out in so many different levels that I wasn't even like, my Instagram posts, I was using the same music, like, or the same videos I'd already done before. I'd forget that I posted something and then repost it. And so I was realizing that I wasn't with it enough. Like, I wasn't in it. I was so burnt out and I was just kind of posting to post that I decided that I needed a break. And the reason why I needed a break was because I ended up having kind of a snafu with my formatting program, and it did not like other programs that were kind of running in tandem with it. It was supposed to, but it didn't. And this particular formatting program, I guess after the fact I found out, is kind of prone to glitching a lot. And so it was undoing edits that I had done. So I had to go back and redo them, and was thinking like, hey, wait, haven't I already done these? And it was a big thing. Like, the final copies of the book and stuff were not what they were supposed to be. So it was kind of like, how do I fix this after the book's already launched, right? So with ebook, it's easy. Like, it's pretty easy. I just fix the file, upload the file, and as far as I'm aware, most aggregators like Amazon and stuff like that will just tell you to re-download it. Will be like, oh, there's updates on this, please re-download, or you can just manually re-download it yourself. So it's pretty easy to do that. Like, that wasn't a big deal. I wasn't really worried about that. What I was really worried about was the print copies. And on top of that, along with the print copies having a bunch of my editing missing, they weren't printing off right. Like, I kept ordering from one of my printers, and the spines kept being like really, really off. So like, you can tell like the back, come on, focus, not on my face, there we go. So you can tell the back is off, and it's kind of pushing everything that way. And that was one of the better ones. There were some that were like super off, like it was cutting into the front cover, the spine was and stuff. It just wasn't good. Like, there was like ink misprints, like the ink was super faded and wasn't coming out right. Ooh. Anyways, so now that I've had my tea break, hopefully my voice is a little bit easier to hear. But anyways, so with all of that, I kind of had to make an announcement on my Instagram saying, hey, if you've bought a print copy, please let me know. I will send you a new copy, you know, no cost to you, ship it to you, all that jazz, so that you can have the updated formatting, updated edits, and have a copy that doesn't have a messed up spine. And it took me a while to find a printer that was actually would print it consistently enough that I felt comfortable ordering, because that was one of the things too, is I do have a lot of people who are waiting to order a print copy so they can get a signed author copy, which I plan on having signed author copies through my website. But I couldn't go and order a bulk order when the spines kept coming out like that, right? So, you know, and I wasn't getting any communication from them. You know, they were just like, oh, well, it's a misprint, refund it. Oh, it's a misprint, refund it. Or, you know, or we'll send you a new one. We'll send you a new one. But then, like, even the new ones were messed up. So anyways, I decided to try a different printer. And everything is good to go. The proof came back awesome. I'm consistently getting copies being printed right. Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of a shipping thing, like they weren't packed very nicely and stuff, so I did lose like a copy or two because of that. But overall, like, at least the printing and the things being printed were being printed correctly. So yeah, so I did the big announcement being like, please let me know if you got a print and it's got editing stuff and the cover's not right, because I will send you a new copy. Because I guess maybe it's because I'm a potter, but like, you know, doing pottery first, it's like, I want my customers to get the best of the best of the best, right? And I do with my pottery too. Like, if I sell seconds, it's like, I will tell them 500 times that it's a second. And, you know, and I mean, a lot of times I get comments being like, I can't believe you sell this as a second. There's nothing wrong with it. Or, oh, really? That was why you made it a second? But like, for me, it's like it's like an art thing, right? I'm giving you, and you're buying my art and I want to give you the best art that I can give you, right? But yeah, so that was kind of really stressful. It was like a really stressful week to like redo everything and re-upload everything. I was stressed that I wasn't going to get my copies in time to be able, because you know, once I figured out the printer and stuff like that, I only had like 2 weeks before the Ren Fair, right? So I was like, am I even going to get these books in time for the Ren Fair? Is it going to be the right copy of the book? You know, are they going to print the right copy of the book? Because sometimes that can be an issue. Like they'll have the old copy and they'll send you the old copies, but not the updated copies with all the edits. So, anyways, so I ended up, what was it, yesterday, day before, I ended up getting a box. I didn't order a ton for the Ren Fair. I just have a couple of copies, but I did end up getting them, and they look great, and everything's okay with those. And yeah, so I'm it's kind of a bit of a relief, and taking the social media break because of that, it was kind of a relief too. Like, I don't know what it was about just having to sit there and try to come up with something every day to post on my social media, and the fact that I do alternate between my pottery page and my author page, it just was kind of feeling super overwhelming, especially when like I wasn't even able to get any, like, hardly any pottery done or anything like that because I was trying to fix all of the, you know, formatting snafus that I was having and stuff. So yeah, September wasn't the best month. I'm hoping that October goes a little better. I mean, it starts with the Ren Fair, so hopefully it'll just go up from there. I mean, that would be awesome. And now that I have a printer that I can rely on and all that, that'll be awesome. So I can actually like do the, you know, signed author copies and have those up on my website. Yeah, and the Ren Fair is usually the show that I enjoy doing the most. It's super fun. I love dressing up. I love doing the pottery demos on my kick wheel. I don't know. It's just, I look forward to it. It's almost my favorite time of the year. Like, my birthday might be my favorite time of the year, but this is definitely close. My Ren Fair is like one of my favorite times of the year. And so I'm really excited about it. It's usually my biggest show. Like, that's usually when I sell most everything, which, like, if you check my website and stuff like that, you'll find out that I did close down my website and my Etsy and stuff like that for the time being, just because I do know that I tend to sell a lot at the Ren Fair. So I want to make sure that I have enough and that I'm not having people order something online and then I've sold it at the Ren Fair and stuff like that. It just makes it easier for me. I will be reopening my website on October 11th, so keep an eye out for that, with, you know, the pieces that didn't sell, with the things that I do have. And I do plan on doing a big collection launch probably towards the end of October, beginning of November, and that one's going to be like book themed. And I know I've done some vlogs and stuff of me doing like the book themed stuff, but yeah, that's the next plan. And then honestly, besides trying to, you know, make back the money I put into the book, I really don't have a ton of plans for Q4. I did, you know, because I took that 2-week break from social media and that did help, but I do know that I've just been kind of pushing really hard this year. I've had like 2025, I've said it, I'll say it again. It has been a wild ride, and not necessarily all good and not necessarily all bad, just wild, and so much getting thrown at me in my personal life, in my professional life. Like, it's just been a wild ride. And so I think part of that too is leading to me kind of feeling burnt out and stuff. After November, I'm pretty much gonna just call December my time off. I'm actually going to take a break from, I haven't decided if I'm going to take a break from Patreon, but I do plan on taking a break from like YouTube, from all the social medias I have, website, all that jazz. I usually shut down my website at the beginning of December anyways, because I just can't make sure that you get it in time for Christmas, especially like international orders and stuff. So it's just easier for me to just shut it down in December, so I don't have to worry about stressing if people are actually going to get their gifts or not on time. And then it kind of just gives me a little bit of a break too. And it's usually one of the months that I do really, really well at from here. And so I can kind of take a step back from my website and all that kind of stuff in December, so that I, you know, and just kind of leave it up to from here to sell what I have, the remainder of what I have left. As far as pottery and stuff goes, that I plan on spending most of the time doing the writing and trying to finish book 2. I've decided that I'm going to try to make it just a duology, so it'll just be 2 books. That'll be the end of the series. I do have an idea for a spin-off, but it wouldn't be part of the main story, and it probably would happen after the main story. But yeah, that I do think that I can make it happen to be a duology. The second book is definitely going to be longer than the first book, but my goal is to at least finish the first draft by January of 2026. So yeah, so it's kind of like future plans. So there's a little bit of September wrap up, there's a little bit of future plans. That's kind of where we're at. And yeah, that's what I got going on. And I'll probably do a wrap up for November. I'm probably not gonna do a wrap up for December, like I said, because I'm just gonna take December off as far as all this stuff goes. It's also like when my kids get out of school and they're off for like 2 or 3 weeks, so it's just easier for me to just take a break in December and then come at it again in January. I do also usually have a harder time making pottery and stuff in the winter months, since it gets pretty cold up here because we are north, and so a lot of times I run into pottery freezing, things like that. So anyways, that's September wrap up. That's kind of what's happened. It was not fun. I'm hoping October goes better. If nothing else, I have the Ren Fair, right? So yeah, that's what we got going on. And I will see you in the next video, which will be all about all the fun we had at the Ren Fair. Bye.